All right, welcome back in here on Believe in the Wolfpack. I'm your host, Luke Nichols. Today, going to be getting into some more NC State football stuff, looking at some odds for the upcoming year. Where NC State stacks up for the national championship odds, for their conference, title odds. And honestly, I'm looking at the page right now on ESPN. I imagine, yeah, it's ESPN Bet College Futures. They have every single team listed. Every single team has odds for the national championship. Spoiler: Georgia is first. Ohio State is second. There was a lot of T's in there, I felt like. So that's, not really a surprise though. But they got every team in here. NC State has a little better odds than I thought, but we'll get to that in a minute. Also, going to be getting into some recruiting stuff, and then we'll probably finish up talking about NCAA or college football 25 because it is all I've been thinking about since it came out. But before we get in to the odds and whatnot for NC State, I want to start off by checking in on Payton Wilson, currently at Steelers training camp, and based on this tweet from Tad Whistle on Twitter, he says, "I know it's only the first day of camp." And then in parentheses, football and underwear, as they say, LOL. But Payton Wilson just laid his hands on a blind man and restored his sight. Again, it's early, but if Wilson can keep this up, he is going to be a problem for the AFC North. I imagine that means that Payton Wilson is having a pretty good start to training camp with the Steelers. If he can restore a man's sight, not surprised that he can do that. But also, I will say the only problem with this tweet, I don't know how this helps the Steelers in a football sense. Maybe if he can restore the player's sight, he can take away other players. So, say like Lamar Jackson is having an incredible game against the Steelers. Can he go up and tackle him and make him blind for the remainder of the game? I don't know. But regardless, then there's a video of him just blowing up a play action play. What quarterback? That's not Russell Wilson. No, I have no idea what quarterback this is. Do they still have Mason Rudolph? A lot of the Steelers quarterbacks outside of, the last couple years, they all kind of look the same. Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, they all are kind of the same person to me. There's a video of Payton Wilson reading out a play action perfectly, and he would have blown the entire thing up. He can't touch the quarterback in training camp and in practice. Duh, that's like the golden rule, a cardinal sin if you do it, but he would have destroyed the quarterback if this was a real play in preseason and regular season, whatever. And he just has that speed. He's kind of doing what I expected him to do, and what a lot of NC State fans expected him to do is just use his speed, use his intelligence, his size, his length, and just really make a name for himself. And again, it's the Steelers where it just feels like they always develop their linebackers and their defensive talent so well. It feels like they always pan out somehow. It doesn't really make any sense how they always just find some kind of a gem in the draft. But Peyton Wilson looks to be the next installment of just steals by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Between Patrick Green, who was the last year? Yeah. So this guy says, trying so badly not to overreact, but between Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, who was great last year, and now the speed of Peyton Wilson, the Steelers' defense finally has a real linebacking unit for the first time since Shazier went down. That's scary. God, I love that. Yeah. Even Pat Fryermuth. So, yeah, he's getting a lot of love, it seems like. Pat Fryermuth said he's going to be a hell of a player. He just moves easy. Jared Kane says players that really stood out on day 4 of Steelers camp: Justin Fields, Kyle Allen, their tight end Michael Pruitt, receiver Roman Wilson, and then Peyton Wilson, and he is, in parentheses, says very instinctual with quick bursts. So again, it just seems like he's gonna be a stud. It's only been positive notes from training camp about Payton Wilson, hoping it can continue. I haven't seen much about Dylan McMahon with the Eagles, but I mean, he's a center, so center maybe a guard for them. It's kind of tough to hear positive things about the lineman from the first couple of weeks of camp. I think he can. I hope he can really shine in preseason. Definitely be watching some of those games to see if he gets in at center, gets in at left or right guard, and if he's. I imagine they may have him anytime he's in. He may be. I think he's going to be pulling a lot. So I'd like to see him kind of, pull on a run play, see if he can get downfield, pick up a block or two. That would be massive. But he's only a rookie. He's a rookie interior lineman on the team that arguably has the best offensive line in football. He should be able to learn a lot and really develop into a center or a guard, whatever position they're going to use him at. But moving on back into NC State, I did see this article from ESPN. It says the post spring football sleeper picks to know about ahead of the 2024 season. And you go to, I don't understand the order that ESPN writes these articles in. I thought it would have just went, like the AP top 25, because like Georgia's 1, Ohio State's 2, Texas is 3. Then you go down, and in the top 25, NC State's like 22, I think they were. But then they're 13th here. They're the 13th listed team for the article. Whatever. I'm fine with it, but just weird to me. But our sleeper pick, they say, is Sean Brown. Basically saying how he's moving down from safety, going to be in that linebacker position, and can attempt to replace Payton Wilson. It kind of says it's going to be a team effort at the linebacker position, but Sean Brown will have the first crack at it.